What is going on, everybody? This is your friendly neighborhood coach, and this is the next episode of Becoming a Better You. Listen, y'all, it is a wonderful Tuesday evening, 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I am your friendly neighborhood coach, and in Becoming a Better You, that's exactly what we try to do. We just try to give tips and tools on how to be better today than you were yesterday and look forward to tomorrow. Chris, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. So the etiquette that I have when you come in here is, if you can, please share the Daily Heartbeat, because the Daily Heartbeat is the heartbeat of the live host. All right. Then share it out with 2 or 3 people. OK, because the information that Coach Young gives is there to make you better. And so I want to share with everybody. All right. And then just sit back and let's just conversate a little bit. All right. I'm going to take this moment. I'm going to share this live real quick if I can. As you listen. And if you want to power share, what you can do is you can tap my forehead or my nose and you can power share. All right. All right. So what we're going to talk about tonight, it is actually a series. And the series is called Why Not You, Why Not Now? And I'm actually doing a book that's similar of the title, Why Not You, Why Not Now? And it's just about taking advantage of the things that you get and the things that you need to do to become better. And you know, a lot of times we use excuses on why we can't accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, or we'll use other things or other people that will prevent us from getting to where we need to be, and we wait. And so that's why the title is Why Not You, Why Not Now? And so I think last week, let me look here. Last week, I know we talked about growth. You know, you should be able to grow. And so this evening, we're going to talk about how comparison kills your calling. Okay. And how it will stop your calling. All right. So I want to sit in for a little bit. I'm going to share this out one more time, because I want people, you know, I want to share this with a lot of people, because I think this is going to be beneficial to those who come in. Try to share this out as much as I can. There we go. I'm only on here for an hour, y'all. That's how long I hang out. I'm on here for an hour, but I love to just to share, you know, the things that I get. And like I said, for me, this is for me as well. Okay, a lot of the information I give is for myself, and so I just have the ability to share with all of you, and that's what I do. So I'm gonna give folks a couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you hear any barking in the background, that is Echo the Wonder Mutt. You know, he protects the kingdom here. So anything that comes through the door, he, you know, whether it's, you know, my children or my wife or whatever, he loves to hear himself speak. You know what I mean? That's how he goes. But yeah, I really want to I want to stress that, like I said, in becoming a better you, it is all about being the best version of yourself and not allowing people or things to distract you and to put you in a kind of a mode of pausing. You know, a lot of times we get a lot of momentum, and it's always something or someone that allows us, or not allow us, but some that gets in front of us to doing what we need to do and what we have to do and what we want to do. So that's why, like I said, you know, it's okay to become better. And that's why I said tonight we're going to talk about comparison and how it will hurt you. Okay, how you try to compare yourself to the Joneses and you know, well, maybe I need to do what they doing instead of doing you. You know, a lot of times we get caught up in trying to emulate everyone else. And I can talk about that because I was one of those people. You know, for those that don't know, I was in ministry and still in ministry. You know, I do ministry outside of the four walls now. But when I was inside of those four walls, you know, it was okay. Let me be this person, or let me speak the way this person speaks, or let me say, you know, what I heard this person say. And it wasn't until I understood to be me, and I stopped comparing myself to others, and I started being me, and I started doing things that I needed to do to make myself better. Okay, and I stopped looking at other people. Okay, and I'm probably already getting in my notes, but you're uniquely fashioned. Okay, there's a reason there's just one of you. Okay, you're unique. And so I think sometimes people kind of try to avoid their uniqueness. Okay, and so that's what we're gonna get into tonight here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing started. You come in, please share the Daily Hard Me. Please share out the live. Tap 2 or 3 people on that, and just share it out. All right. So comparison. Stop comparing. Start becoming who God has called you to be. Okay, so let's talk about, in this segment, let's talk about the trap of comparison. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about something that silently destroys your purpose, and that's comparison. Okay, comparison is subtle. You scroll social media, you see something winning, and suddenly you feel like you're behind. But here's the truth of all of this. Comparison doesn't inspire you. Comparison distracts you. It pulls your focus away from your purpose and places it on someone else's path. Okay. In the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verses 4 and 5, it says, each one should test their own actions. Each one should test their own actions, not compare themselves to someone else. In 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 12, it says, those who compare themselves are not wise. So I'm going to ask a series of questions. This is how I do it. This is how we do it here on Becoming a Better You. Who do you find yourself comparing your life to? Who do you find yourself comparing your life to? Do you compare yourself to someone else? Who is it? Okay. How does comparison make you feel? Motivated or discouraged? Because there's some out here who get compared to very successful people or entrepreneurs out here who are making a lot, and there's a comparison there. And some folks may feel motivated to be that. But then there's some folks that look at it on the opposite side, is they may be discouraged because they don't feel that they can get there. And then the next question is, what areas of your life are you measuring against others? What areas of your life are you measuring against others? Okay? Because just like 2 Corinthians 10 and 12 said, those who compare themselves are not wise. Okay? That's what I'm saying. You're uniquely made. You're fashionably like made into something great. Okay. So you have to realize that comparison creates insecurity. Comparison will make you question things God has already confirmed in your life. Let me say that again. Comparison will make you question things that God has already confirmed. It could be your pace. You feel like you need to move faster. I get caught like that sometimes because I have a couple of businesses that I really want to get off the ground really quickly. And so there are times where I move faster than I should. There's some who move slower, who should speed up. It's always the ifs and the ands. Okay, Treva, welcome in. I see you. So we're talking about in the series, why not you? Why not now? Thank you for the daily hard meat. Appreciate that. Why not you? Why not now? We're in the second part of it, where we are talking about comparing yourself, because I don't want to keep saying that word. Comparison kills your calling. So, yeah, where do you find yourself comparing your life to? Or who do you find yourself comparing your life to? How does comparison make you feel? Does it make you feel motivated? Does it make you feel discouraged? And what areas of your life are you measuring against others? These are some of the things that I want you to start asking yourself. Okay. So we were getting ready to get into comparison creates insecurity. Comparison will make you question things that God has already confirmed. Okay. Like I said, your pace, how quickly you move. Okay. If you should speed up, if you should slow down. Okay. Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. We running that rat race, but we want to be the first. Okay. Your progress. Okay. Your purpose. Okay. A lot of you are still trying to figure out what your purpose is. And that's okay. All right. That's okay to figure out what your purpose is. All right. But comparing yourself to someone else after God has already confirmed who you are. So your pace, your progress, your purpose. You'll start asking, why not me yet? Why am I not there? Some of y'all ask yourself that right now. Why not me yet? Why not me, Lord? Why does he have so much and I don't have enough? Or I don't have it. Why? Why not me? but you don't know their process, their pain, or their preparation. You don't know. Okay. Psalm 139:14 says, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made." Fearfully and wonderfully made. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you, I knew you." He's already confirmed who you are. It's up to you to understand and believe in who you are, and not have to look at everybody else and try to make yourself morph into those other people. And okay, well, and listen, sometimes it's okay to take certain things from people, but I'm not going to look at another man and say, okay, I need to be like him, other than the Lord himself. Like I said, I'm wonderfully fashioned. I am crafted. I am artwork. I am one of one. That's the way that I think. And that's the way that we have to get in our minds, is that we're one of one. I don't need to be what the Joneses is being. I'm going to be what the Young is going to be. That's the way God wants me to be. And like I said, I traveled in ministry. I did it for 20 years, and I tried so hard to be like everybody else. I wanted to be this preacher, and I wanted to be this preacher, and I wanted to be this person. I wanted to be this person. It wasn't until God showed me, just be you. Just be you. If you are you, if you are the way I formed you, if you do the things that I'm telling you to do, and you be the unique vessel that I have created, then you don't have to worry about everybody else. Then you don't have to worry about anybody else. So when you compare, you compete with a life that was never assigned to you. Let me say that again. When you compare, you compete with a life that's never been assigned to you. You're competing with a lifestyle that's the opposite, or that may be opposite of what God wants for you. So when you compare, you compete. But what are you competing with? What are you competing with? So let me ask you this. Have you ever doubted yourself because of someone else's success? And I'll answer that for you. The answer is yes, I have. Have you ever doubted yourself because of someone's success? Yes, I have. Because I felt like I should be right where that person was. Or even I feel like I've worked harder than that individual. But what God has made for you is for you. And what God has made for someone else is for them. So if you've ever doubted yourself because of someone else's success, I'm telling you, stop. Is it going to take a little time for you to get to where you need to be? Yeah. And like I said, can you take little things from certain people? Sure. But I don't wake up every morning saying I'm going to be the next so-and-so and the next such and such. I wake up in the morning saying, Lord, thank you for waking me up this morning, but I'm going to be the one and only Coach Young. I'm going to be the one and only Coach Young, and that's who I'm going to be. So what makes your journey unique? What makes the walk that you're walking unique? Just think about that. My journey done had ups and downs, trials and tribulations, pitfalls and victories. What's unique about my journey is I survived it. And I'm the only person that could. And I'm the only person that realizes that my unique journey was given to me by God. Woo. So what makes your journey unique? What makes your journey unique? And then, are you comparing your beginning to someone else's middle? Are you comparing your beginning to someone else's middle? Because you got some people who, like I said, this is their journey. They're already ahead. They're already doing things. And you're comparing, and you're starting out, and you're like, okay, I need to be there. Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. My mama always said, before you walk, you gotta crawl. Okay, before you walk, you gotta crawl. So why are you comparing your beginning to someone else's middle? Once again, I'm trying to get folks to understand, and I see Bookworm B. Thank you, baby. I see you. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's like, and once again, it took me a minute because I used to compare myself, like I said, I see all these other preachers and ministers out here and, all these orators and all they wanted to do, I just wanted to be them. I wanted to be just like them. I wanted to speak and I wanted to do all that. And it wasn't until God, like I said to me, I need you to be Rodney. And how did I make you? I made you to come with nuggets. I'll give you those nuggets. I will treat you like I did Moses. Moses had a stutter, but I'm going to speak through you. I've given you a sense of humor, so I want you to be able to use it. It wasn't until I became my authentic self and realized that I couldn't be everybody else, and I didn't want to be everybody else. I wanted to be the authentic Coach Young that God fashioned me to be. So why are you comparing your beginning to someone's middle? Okay. Right now, I want y'all to take a minute. I want y'all to share this live right now. Go ahead and jam. I see Treva Monique sharing. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and share this out because we getting ready to get into social media versus real life. That's what we're gonna talk about a little bit. Social media versus real life. So, right, we don't know what their middle requires, and then we also don't know, like I said, their process. This is what we're talking about. Is that comparison will make you question things God has already confirmed. Okay, your pace, your progress, your purpose. Okay, so we have to understand that the way that He's created us, the way that He made us, is unique. And so because of my uniqueness, I don't need to compare myself to anyone else. Because I realize that for me, being a one of one, I'm the standard bearer. I'm the one creating the standard that He's given me. So I don't, like I said, you can see other people's blueprints. I'm not saying that if you see somebody successful, you can't take little nuggets from their blueprint. But I'm not waking up every morning saying, man, I wish I would. No, I did when I was younger, but now I'm like, no, this is who God has made me to be. This is who He has fashioned me to be. This is who He has formed out of that lump of clay. This is who I am. And because I am who I am, I don't need to say, okay, I want to be like this person. No, I want to be me, and I want to be the best version of me possible. Okay? So social media versus real life. So let's keep it a buck. Social media is a highlight reel. It's not the full story. When you're comparing your struggles to their best moments, that's not a fair comparison. Let me say that again. When you're comparing your struggles to their best moments, that's not a fair comparison. Proverbs 14:30 says, a heart at peace gives life, but envy rots the bones. Okay? Envy doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your spirit. Okay? Let me say that again. Proverbs 14:30. A heart at peace gives life, but envy rots the bones. It says highlight reels will make someone look like a hot buttered street grease. Or make them look like a superstar. Right. But envy doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your spirit. Okay? So let me ask you this. How does social media affect your mindset? You know, I've been on these platforms for a while. And of course, when you don't have, 500 people in your room, you can get discouraged. But I've learned that I'm going to speak God's message. I'm going to speak my message regardless of who's in the room. Okay. Has social media affected my mindset at times? Absolutely. Treva, I see you with that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Next question. Do you feel pressure to keep up with others? Ooh. Do you feel pressure to keep up with others? I'm telling you I did. Okay? I'm telling you I did. But like I said, I had to realize what God has for me is for me. Appreciate you. Title gifter, I see ya. So one, how does social media affect your mindset? And then how do you feel pressure to keep up with others? And then what would happen if you focused only on your lane? Ooh. What would happen if you focused only on your lane? That's a very interesting question. What would happen if people just stayed in their lane and focused on their lane? Pressure to keep up with others when it comes to social media, for sure. Yep. But once again, what are they seeing? They're seeing the successful side of social media. They're not seeing the process of what people are going through to become successful within that social media realm. They're not looking at how long it's taken a person to get to the level that they've gotten to. They don't know about the consistency that a person has used to get themselves into that realm of success. They only look at the finished product. That's what I'm saying. How can you judge in your beginning someone's middle? You can't. And so that's the distortion that social media gives you. It's because you're looking at and you're seeing people's success, but you're not seeing the process and what they had to go through. There's a influencer that's on the Book of Face and IG, and him and his wife do skits, and it's really, really successful. But he came on and he talked about the process of what he had to do and how long it took him to build his platform. But what everybody sees is they see the finished product. They don't see the process of the painting. They just see when it's done and it's hanging. Everything takes time. There's a process. So stop judging people's middles with your beginning. Okay? So yes, social media can affect your mindset if you allow it. Pressure to keep up with others through that social media. And if you just happen to focus on your lane, can you imagine how further you will be? So let's talk about your calling. Your calling is custom. Ooh, your calling is custom. God didn't copy and paste your purpose. Ooh, can I say that again? God didn't copy and paste your purpose. Your calling is custom built, purpose driven, and time sensitive. What's for you is for you. So no, he didn't take the blueprint from this person and say, okay, I'm going to give this to this person. No, your calling is custom made. You are a blueprint that is strategically fashioned by God to be successful. Did you hear what I said? You are a blueprint designed by God, which means when you look at the blueprint of a building, okay, the blueprint has everything already schematically made out. That's what that blueprint is all about. Everything is schematic. Everything is purpose driven. Everything is put together in a specific manner. And so every blueprint that's made is different. Every blueprint that God makes is different. So God didn't copy and paste your purpose. He didn't make your blueprint someone else's. Okay? Your calling is custom built. Do you realize when you're talking about a custom built purpose, that means he's laid everything out for you. A to Z. He's made provision for you and you only. So when you start looking at everybody else, are you going against the blueprint that God has made? I just want to ask. Have you gone against that blueprint? Because like I said, his blueprint is custom made. It's purpose driven. He knows your purpose. He's given you purpose. He's created your purpose. He's launched you with a purpose. Are you walking in your purpose? And then it's time sensitive, which means it ain't no time to be worried about what everybody else is doing. It's time for you to focus on what you need to do to make yourself and the people around you as successful as possible. So what's for you is for you. What God made for you is for you. And let me tell you something. Favor ain't fair, y'all. Favor isn't fair. Okay? Favor isn't fair. So you see somebody that might be a little bit more successful than you. Favor ain't fair. But the favor that that person has can't compare to the favor that God has for you. But even in the favor of God, there has to be a level of patience. So Ephesians 2:10 says, we are his workmanship. Okay. Matty Ice, I see you. Bless you, young man. I see you out here doing your thing, man. Ah, my man, Matty Ice. Love you, Matty. So Ephesians 2:10 says, we are his workmanship. Do you understand when he says we are his workmanship? That means when you are his workmanship, that means he's taking time with you. He's taking a lot of time with you. That means he's crafted you strategically. That means every fiber of your being, he took a moment to make sure that it's perfect. When you talk about craftsmanship and workmanship, that's what he's done. And here's the thing. The great part about our carpenter is because carpenters have an ability to recreate from things that other folks will throw away. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. Let me share this with y'all. Do you realize that we deal with, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and he was considered a carpenter? And what do carpenters do? Carpenters recreate things that most people will discard and throw away. We are his workmanship. We are what he has created, as he's taken time to carve out a masterpiece, which is you. That's why I say, Coach Young say, I am one of one. There's no one that can say they can be me, because I am his workmanship. Romans 12:6 says we have different gifts according to his grace. So I want you to listen closely. You can't walk in your calling while chasing someone else's. Let me say that again. You can't walk in your calling while chasing someone else's. I want you to understand, what God has made for you is for you, and you own it. So, what gifts has God given you specifically? What gifts has God given you that you know of, that he's given you specifically? Now, when we talk about gifts, sometimes you have the gift of, some people have a gift of healing. Some people have a gift of encouragement, a gift of exhortation. There's so many different gifts. Somebody has a culinary gift. They can just make things. So what gift has God given you specifically? Now, my follow-up question is this. Are you ignoring the calling because you're trying to copy someone else? Are you ignoring the calling because you're trying to copy someone else? G, I see you, G. Thank you for the daily heartbeat, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. We are in the series, Why Not You, Why Not Now? And we're talking about comparison, comparing yourself to someone else. Okay. So what gifts has God given you specifically? And are you ignoring your calling because you're copying someone else's? What comes naturally to you that others struggle with? Ooh. What comes naturally to you that other people struggle with? So these are just little short questions that Coach Young is asking. But for those that come across this video, I really want you to understand is that God has given you a purpose and a calling. But the longer that you wait to move in your purpose and the longer that you wait to move in your calling, or you put yourself on pause because you focused on the Joneses. If you stop doing that and focus on what you're focused on, then you'll see doors opening, business, communication. Okay? Visions. Okay? So let's talk about staying focused on your assignment. When you stay focused on your assignment, you move with clarity. You build confidence. You grow in purpose. But when you compare, you lose direction, you delay your progress, and you doubt your value. I'm going to run through it again because that just hit me. When you stay focused on your assignment, you move with clarity. You build confidence and you grow in purpose. But when you compare, you lose direction, you delay your progress, and you doubt your value. Hebrews 12:1 says, run your race with endurance. And then John 21:22 says, what is that to you? Follow me. Follow me. So what am I saying? Simple. Stay in your lane because your lane leads you to your destiny. Stay in your lane because your lane will lead you to your destiny. So what is your assignment right now? Do you know? Do you know what your assignment is right now? You know, I sit and I'm at work at times and I constantly ask God, what is my assignment? Have I fulfilled my assignment? Please let me know, Lord, because I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm ready to move on. But I know one of the reasons why I'm still there is that my assignment is not completed. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Because as much as I want to just get up and just say, all right, I've had enough. Let me go ahead and do what I need to do for me. My assignment isn't finished. And if you move out of God's will, yay. If you move out of God's will, man, I'm just telling you. Okay? You don't want to do that. So what is your assignment right now? What distractions are pulling you away from your assignment? Is the distraction somebody else or something else? Or is the distraction you? And how can you stay focused daily? What are some of the ways that you can stay focused daily? Current assignment. So I want to encourage you tonight to become who you were called to be. Okay. Comparison kills your calling because it shifts your focus. But when you shift your focus back to God, you find clarity, confidence, and direction. Let me say it again. Comparison will unalive your calling because it shifts your focus. But when you shift your focus back to God, back to the Most High, you find clarity, confidence, and direction. Matthew 6:33 says, seek first the kingdom. Ooh. Seek what first? The kingdom. Galatians 1:10 says, am I trying to please people or God? I've said this before. Some people want to be respected by man than loved by God. I'll let that sink in. Some folks rather be respected by man than loved by God. That thing. So as I wrap this thing up, I want you to understand that you don't need to be them. You don't need to be, you don't need to be in their timeline. You don't need their validation. You need to walk in your calling. You don't need to be them. You don't need their timeline. You don't need their validation. You need to walk in your calling. So, what will you stop comparing yourself to? Or who will you stop comparing yourself to? Or what will you stop comparing today? What will you start to focus on? And what is the one step you can take towards your calling this week? Your focus need more focus, Daniel-san. I mean, we just, like I said, and I'm sitting here and I don't want people to believe that I don't go through that. I haven't gone through the mode of comparison, because I have. It's happened, most of my comparison came from, people comparing me to my older brother, and I love my older brother. Don't get me wrong. I love my older brother. Okay. As the day is long, like my mom used to say, like Jack's hat band. But I wanted to be my own individual. And then, like I said, when I got older and I got into ministry, I started comparing myself to all these other people. And it wasn't, like I said, until God showed me that I made you who you are, to be who you are. And I want you to be you. And I think that's what I'm trying to share with everybody tonight is I need y'all to stop looking at everybody else, look at yourself in the mirror and just be you. Be the way God has made you. Okay? And be patient. Stop comparing your beginning to someone's middle. Be patient. He has never left you nor forsaken you. So why would he start now? I want you guys to understand. Why not you? Why not now? What is holding you back from being the most successful person possible? And I'm telling you, it's you. It's you. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of us refuse to take a chance in life. And this really doesn't have anything to do with, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Sometimes in life, you got to step out on your faith. Sometimes in life, you got to go ahead and take that jump, take that leap, and trust that he's going to take you. He's going to cover you. He's going to be there for you. We got to stop moving in fear and move in faith. Now, does that mean you sit and let osmosis happen? No. There's things that you got to do. Once again, he's made you a blueprint. Victory Coast T, welcome in. How are you? It has been a moment. Thank you for the daily heart, me. Appreciate that. Yes. So just to let everybody know, I am here every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. I am doing well. Yeah. Okay, that's true. I'm sorry. I'm all in y'all business. I'm here 5 o'clock every Tuesday. And like I said, this subject, this is the second part of why not me? Why not you? Why not now? And like I said, I'm having a ebook with the same title. Why not you? Why not now? Why can't you start doing the things that you need to do right now? Why are you continuing to make excuses on why you're not where you need to be? Tonight, we talked about comparison. Okay. We talked about you comparing yourself to someone else and what God has for you. And we got to move in what God has for us. Okay. We can't judge our beginning with someone's middle. Stop trying to be like the Joneses. Be the way God has created you. He's fashioned you. You are one of one. You are one of one. And because you are one of one, then you need to walk as you being one of one. And like I said, everybody's going through it. There's no condemnation, none whatsoever. Everybody's going through it. Everybody's looked at that person to the left or the person to the right. I just looked at my left when I should have been looking at my right. Something wrong with me, y'all. When you look at the person to the right of you and then the person to the left of you, and you're like, okay, well, why is this person here and this person is here and why am I here? Instead of asking God why, ask him when. Ask him what you need to be doing, because it's obvious, because you got your head going to the left of you and going to the right of you, that you're not focused on what's in front of you. And like I said, whenever God makes provision for all of us. He makes provision. But you got to stop comparing yourself to the Joneses. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else and be who he's created you to be. Be that one of one, the only one, the chosen one. Because many are called, but few are chosen. So if you know that you are the chosen one, then you need to walk in that confidence that you have been chosen. And you don't need to look at everybody else to know that you've been chosen. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else to know that you've been chosen. You don't need to say, well, I'm going to be like this person, or I want to be like this person because this person is successful and this person is successful, but I ain't got there. You not there yet. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, you don't know a person's process. All you see is the end result. That's all you see is the end result. You don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that that person went through. You don't see the times that they was on their knees crying to God saying, Lord, help me. You don't know how many people who have gotten to that level of success was doing the same thing that you are doing now. So that's the bottom line is, do you, because he's got you. And as long as you realize that he's got you, he's not going to let you fall. So if you don't learn anything tonight, and I'm getting ready to slide up out of here, I want you to learn this. Comparison will have you chasing a life that was never meant for you. Stay in your lane, trust God's plan, and walk in your calling. I'm going to say that to you one more time. Comparison will have you chasing a life that was never meant for you. Stay in your lane, trust God's plan, and walk in your calling. If you don't walk out of here or leave this live tonight, I want you to know that. Trust his plan and walk in your calling. And if that means you got to take that faith step, then take it. Because God will always make provision for those that are walking according to his purpose. Taking it, yeah, that's it. Got to take that faith step. Faith the size of a mustard seed. You got to take that faith step. Not comparison having me living a fake and false lie. Yeah. 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 So, comparison. So, as I wrap this up, I'm telling y'all right now, next week, y'all thought this week was good. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna get to it. Next week, definitely next week. And I'm saying this so that I can remind myself. We talked about comparison tonight. Will unalive or kill your calling. Next week, we're going to talk about, and the title is called, God Didn't Skip You. God didn't skip over you. So that's more of a teaser. Y'all thought this one was good tonight, and I appreciate it. Amen. Y'all had to pray for me because I have a pounding headache right now. But I know why, and it's okay. Okay. I have a pounding one. But I know that ain't nothing but the enemy trying to distract me from what I need to do. Okay. We started. The first topic was you don't need permission to grow. I might post up some videos of that. And then tonight we talked about comparison kills calling. Next week we're going to talk about God did not skip over you. God did not skip over you. So come back next week, 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Share with your friends. Let them know. Okay. Coach Young is, praise God, trying to drop some nuggets on you because we got to become better. That's why this is called Becoming a Better You. All right. All right. I'm getting ready to slide up out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Victory Coach T, appreciate you. Okay, up. Talia, I didn't see you. Hello, my sister. Aloha. My sister, you come in right before I get ready to go. You know you. But thank you for the daily hard me. I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. Anytime, Victory Coach. It's good to hear from you. It's been a minute. I hope all is well with you. Pray nothing but blessings over you. Talia, aloha. We pray nothing but blessings over you. Okay? Absolutely. And so yes, next week, God did not skip over you. Don't miss this one. Ooh, don't miss this one. Because this one is going to be the one. God did not skip over you. We're going to talk about that. All right? All right, I got to get out of here, y'all. Bless y'all. Please enjoy the rest of y'all week. Tune in Saturday at 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time for the Pebbles and Bam Bam podcast. That is me and my lovely wife, Treva. 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. All right. I will be back here, and then Tuesday at 5 here on these TikTok airwaves, your friendly neighborhood coach. So, like I said, enjoy the rest of you guys' week, and always remember, love on somebody. Tell somebody that you love them. Don't always assume that they